The time is 6:15. Here's the news edited by Dulmin Samarasingha, read by Victor Raj. Here are the headlines of the local news. No confidence motion against Minister Udaya Gamampila defeated by a two-third majority. 27% of the teachers vaccinated against COVID. Plans made to cover syllabus by October after opening schools. It has been emphasized that there will not be a gas shortage. The Labour Department launches an investigation into the death of girl at former Prime Minister Richard Baduddin's house. A group of politicians and officials seek legal assistance anticipating charges in connection with the Easter Sunday attack. Foreign news, Chinese authorities slam Microsoft hacking claims. Sports news, Tokyo Olympics. Poland sends 6 swimmers home after selecting too many of mistake. Local news in detail. The no-confidence motion brought by Samaggi Jana Balawegaya and the opposition against Minister Udaya Gamampila was defeated by the majority of 91 votes. 152 votes were received against the motion and only 61 votes were received for the motion. Accordingly, the no-confidence motion was defeated by a two-thirds majority. Minister Udaya Gamampila said the opposition has not been able to present an alternative to price increase of oil. He said that if oil price formula was in operation, a litre of petrol could have increased to 179 rupees and diesel to 134 rupees. Minister Vimal Veeravansa said that no confidence motion gave the government opportunity to show its unity. He said that those who were connected to the Easter Sunday attacks brought the no confidence motion against Minister Gamampila. Taking part in the debate, MP Maitripala Sirisena said that there was no government that has not increased price of fuel. All governments have faced the oil price issue. He said that a long-term program with a common agreement should be introduced considering it as a national problem. He said that all governments have taken loans from state banks. He added that the government and opposition should act collectively on behalf of the people. MP Anura Kumar Dissanayake said that Petroleum Corporation is the hub of country's economy. The present oil problem cannot be solved without increasing the capacity of oil refinery. He pointed out that the present oil problem is a long-term issue for governments. Minister Namal Rajapaksa said that the government is facing a pandemic which no other government has faced. However, the government has been able to protect jobs in the state and private sector amid challenges. Steps have been taken to increase export by opening factories to earn foreign exchange. He said that vaccines program is taking place successfully. State Minister Sushil Premjayanta says that COVID vaccines have been given to 27% of the teachers. Students will be given the vaccines according to the advice of health authorities. Schools will be opened in stages after the second dose of the vaccines was given to academic and non-academic staff. Students in GC advanced level classes and students sitting for grade 5 scholarships examinations will be given priority. State Minister Sushil Premjayanta said that the ministry expects to cover syllabus by October. Practical training for advanced level subjects is expected to be completed after reopening schools. Practical tests will be conducted after written tests for aesthetic subjects. Practical activities that have not been covered for science subjects will be covered using video technology. Model question papers of all subjects will be sent over electronic technology to all schools. State Minister Sushil Premjayanta said in Parliament today that students who were sitting for the GCE advanced level examination for second and third times have completed their syllabus. Therefore, it is not a problem for them to sit the examination. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. A
giant interest rate for your fixed deposit that you deposit this month. Call 0718 800 999.
More local news. The Cabinet has approved to sell the newly introduced 18-litre domestic gas cylinder for 4,150 rupees. Accordingly, consumers will be able to purchase an 18-litre gas cylinder with a saving of 245 rupees when compared with the earlier price. Minister Bandula Gunawardena said today that local gas prices will not be increased, although gas prices in the world market could increase. Laugh's gas company supplies 20% of the local domestic gas consumption. Liter Gas Company said that they are able to supply the necessary stocks. The company said they are prepared to fill gas into cylinders with any color. The company said they are in a position to import the necessary capacity in future. It emphasized that the public should not be afraid of any gas shortage in the market. The Labour Department has launched an investigation into the death of the domestic aide at former Minister Rishad Baduddin's house to find out whether she had been employed when she was below 16 years. Commissioner of Women's and Children's Affairs of the department, Deepthi Sumanasena, said that statements will be obtained from the wife of Mr. Baduddin and others who were at the house. Accusations have been levelled stating that the girl had come from domestic service when she was below 16 years. Commissioner Sumanasena said that legal action will be taken if it was found to be true. Meanwhile, protests have been organised at Nuwara, Hatton, Diagama and in front of Mr. Baduddin's house in Colombo, demanding justice for the girl. Meanwhile, Chairman of Women and Children Protection Authority, Professor Mudita Vidhanapathirana, said that they receive about 8,500 complaints annually related to child abuse. Senior DA Jajit Rohana said that incidents related to child abuse can be informed over the hotline number 1929. He said that a special system to inform immediately on child abuse will be introduced this month together with Sri Lanka Telecom. A group of high-ranking politicians of the Good Governance government has sought legal assistance following suspicions that they would be accused of Easter Sunday attack. It has been reported that several of them who gave statements before the Easter Sunday Commission have held discussions with lawyers. The Good Governance government, which took over a state in 2015, where the national security has been completely ensured, has neglected national security until the Sunday attack in 2019. The report of the Commission has been sent to the Attorney General to take legal action. State Minister Sadasivam Vaidyalandran says that new technology should be used to strengthen school education. He mentioned this while attending a function to donate tabs for schools at Manmune Education Zone in the Batiklo district. Tabs were given to 40 teachers and 315 students at 7 schools in Manmune Education Zone, Batiklo. That ends local news.
Now, get your EPF loan information and service details via SMS from HDFC Bank. Wherever you are, being a state and private sector employee, to obtain EPF loan information and service details, just send a SMS mentioning EPF space, name and region to 0718 800 999. HDFC Bank, the bank for your home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
State Minister of Production, Supply and Regulation of Pharmaceuticals, Professor Channajaya Sumana says Sri Lanka has boosted the national inoculation drive with 10,172,800 COVID-19 vaccines received since arrival of the first consignment in January this year. As per the Epidemiology Unit's progress report on COVID immunization, more than 7.57 million vaccines have been rolled out across the island so far. That came to you on Main News Story.
The Main News Story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Moving on to Watchlight. Police spokesman Senior DI Ajit Chauhan said police will implement special operations to nab quarantine lawbreakers in view of the upcoming long weekend. He said special roadblocks would be set up at the entry and exit points of the Western Province and the entire entry points of other districts during this period. He said public can cross borders only to receive treatment or attend the funerals of close relatives. That ends Watchlight. Moving on to world news, let's take a look at the headlines. Chinese authorities slam Microsoft hacking claims. COVID antibody cocktail provided in Japan. Singapore shocked by killing of boy aged 13 at school. World news in detail. China has slammed groundless claims that it carried out a major cyber attack against tech giant Microsoft. A group of Western countries had accused China of hacking Microsoft Exchange, a popular email platform used by companies worldwide. The joint statement accused the Chinese Ministry of State Security of undermining global stability and security. China has always maintained that it opposes all forms of cybercrime. Japan's health ministry has approved an antibody cocktail as a COVID-19 treatment. It's the first authorization in the country of the medicine that can be used on patients with mild symptoms. The treatment is a combination of two virus-neutralizing antibodies, casirivimab and the imidivimab. The cocktail won emergency use authorization by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration last November. It was used on then-President Donald Trump when he was hospitalized with COVID-19. A 16-year-old schoolboy in Singapore has been charged with murdering a fellow student in a case that has shocked the country. Police officers called into a high school on Monday found the body of a 13-year-old boy in a bathroom. An axe was seized as evidence. Initial investigations found that the two boys did not know each other. Extreme violence in the school is rare in Singapore, which has one of the lowest crime rates in the world. To wrap up the world news, let's take a look at the headlines once again. Chinese authorities slam Microsoft hacking claims. COVID antibody cocktail approved in Japan. Singapore shocked by killing of boy aged 13 at school. That ends world news.
Development News is brought to you by
Quality matters than price. So as an engineer, I recommend Melba RB500. It's made with virgin billets using the latest technology. Melba RB500, number one in Sri Lanka. Truly Sri Lankan.
The battered tourism industry renewed its call for assistance with the Sri Lanka Tourism Development Authority, urging the Central Bank of Sri Lanka to offer further relief until some form of revival can be witnessed. Responding to the industry's repeated call for help, Sri Lanka Tourism Development Authority yesterday stressed the need for new relief measures at the earliest. That came to you on Development News.
Development News was brought to you by
Quality matters than price. So as an engineer, I recommend Melba RB500. It's made with virgin billets using the latest technology. Melba RB500, number one in Sri Lanka. Truly Sri Lankan.
Moving on to sports news, the second one-day international between Sri Lanka and India is now being played at R. Premadasa International Stadium in Colombo. Sri Lanka won the toss and decided to bat first. Sri Lanka was 199 for 6 wickets in 41 over a short while ago. Poland has sent 6 swimmers home from the Tokyo Olympics after selecting too many by mistake. Poland initially picked 23 athletes but had to cut that to 17 based on World Governing Body FINA's qualifying rules. Polish Swimming Federation President Paweł Sławski has apologized and said he understood the anger of those who have returned home. Norway has been fined €1,500 for wearing shorts instead of bikini bottoms at the European Beach Handball Championships. The European Handball Federation said it had imposed the fine because of a case of improper clothing. Norway's players wore shorts instead of bikini bottoms during the bronze medal match against Spain in Varna, Bulgaria. Norway's Handball Federation had already stated it would pay if their players were fined. That ends the sports news.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Savings account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply. Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
IFC and the Federation of Chambers of Commerce and Industry in Sri Lanka have launched a new online learning series to strengthen businesses' commitment towards flexible work and family-friendly practices to help employees. Over 40 Sri Lankan businesses participated in the first in a series of online learning sessions by the Together We Can partnership launched under the IFC TFAT Women in Work program. The partnership is aimed at promoting gender-smart policies among Sri Lankan businesses with a particular focus on helping mitigate COVID-19 impact. That ends Business News.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money. Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Savings account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic news. Courtesy of
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Sri Lanka's merchandise exports topped $5.5 billion in the first half of the year, with June earnings reaching a 3-month high, with the $1 billion mark according to Sri Lanka Customs data compiled by the Export Development Board. Export earnings rose by 9.41% year-on-year to $978.2 million in June, despite the impact of the third COVID-19 wave in the country, recording the second highest earnings for the year. That ends Economic News.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Weather Report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
The Met Department says several spells of showers will occur in Sabaragamuwa, Central and Western provinces and in Galle and Mathura districts. Showers or thundershowers may occur at a few places in Ur province and in Ampara and Batiklu districts in the evening or night. Fairly strong gusty winds up to 50 km per hour are likely across the island, and strong gusty winds up to 60 km per hour can be expected in the western slope of the Central Hills, North Central and Northwestern provinces and in Hambantota and Trincomalee districts. That ends the Weather Report.
Weather Report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
A recap of headlines to wind up the evening news on Radio Sri Lanka. No confidence motion against Minister Udaya Gamampila defeated by a 2/3 majority. 27% of the teachers vaccinated against COVID. Plans made to cover syllabus by October after opening schools. It has been emphasized that there will not be a gas shortage. A Labour Department launches an investigation into the death of a girl at the former Minister Rishad Baduddin's house. A group of politicians and officials seek legal assistance anticipating charges in connection with Easter Sunday attack. Foreign news, Chinese authorities slam Microsoft hacking claims. Sports news, Tokyo Olympics. Poland sends 6 swimmers home after selecting too many by mistake. That ends the evening news broadcast on Radio Sri Lanka.